Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining me again for the news corner. And everyone, football is back, and like the thumbnail said, Ten Hag back. Let's get ready for football. We're facing Sheffield United on Saturday, Copenhagen on Tuesday, and then Manchester City again in the derby the following weekend. So let's get excited, football fans. Enough of the transfer talk. You know what I mean? Focus on the NDAs and don't worry about whatever's going on in the media. We all know we want a full sale only, so we're keeping that rhetoric and we're not stopping, right? We're not giving up. We're not settling for less. Let's focus on football. 10 hours back. And, everyone's favorite, she's going to say good morning. Say hello to Bella.
Welcome back to Mufc Realist TV. My name is Bella. I am a presenter and hostess of this channel. Thank you for tuning in. The show is about to begin. I want you to give this video a cheeky little like and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so yet. As you must agree that I am better looking than Marc Goldbridge, so what are you waiting for? Just do it. Smash that like button now. Let's go Reds. Buckle up. Get ready to rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
And it's the Trini boy Marc back with the keys to the kingdom. And I'm not sure if anyone's going to crash me today, but I'm here with you guys just to talk about a little bit of team news and, a little bit of positive going into the weekend games. You know what I mean? I see Stephanie Griffith is joining us this morning. Hi, Stephanie. Hope you're doing well. We're up to 10 likes. I hope everyone who's joining us in the VR room, please enjoy the morning show. And it would be nice for you to post your comments so I would be able to, interact with you as the show goes on. It's not going to be a long one, but it's just a little bit of information. And just to start, Ten Hag is going to hold his pre-match press conference tomorrow. It's going to be at 2:45, and anyone interested, you can tune in and we'll be covering it live and giving our reactions to the press conference and your reactions and what you think about what's happening with everything going on with the team. You know what I mean? And so far, as we know, Sergio Reguilon and Varane are apparently fit, and they will be back in the topics of discussion during the press conference. Hopefully, back in the starting 11 as well, so that we could put round pegs in wrong holes and a solid back defense going on again. You know what I mean? We've been complaining about our defense for weeks and weeks and weeks. Excuse me, but the performances, could be blamed on two factors. Maybe the manager could do better management. Maybe players should be doing better. And we don't want to make the excuse of injuries. You know what I mean? Although we have starters injured. So it's just a bit confusing for Man United fans. But we're coming off the back of a 3-2 victory late. You know what I mean? And it's interesting to say because at the end of the day, right, we should be carrying this form through. And a lot of our players in the duo, and I would call them the duos, because Bruno Fernandes and Diego Dallo had great games, both grabbing goals and assists in the Portugal feature for the international break, qualifying for the Euros. And also, Holland and Christian Eriksen had great games. Holland grabbing a goal, he was a bit attacked, and he still stuck through it. He played the game and he came off early because they had to protect him. And VAR and referees need to do better. And when I'm talking about VAR and referees, I have to take a pause and mention the United women's team. Valiant effort last night against PSG women, but it was like a mountain to climb with everything against even referees. Disallowing a clear goal because after the keeper realized she came late for the ball, she decided to fake an injury. It's crazy, right? And there are some rough tackles. I swore I was watching the men's game with some of the tackling going on against Manchester United. No cards, no fouls. It was disgusting to watch. It was basically disgraceful. I don't like that kind of football. I like to see a fair game. If we're losing, I would like to lose fairly. It's just the way competition is. You want to do your best and you want to play by the rules. And sometimes the ones officiating the rules, they're not upholding them in the right way. So this needs to be looked at. And I really do think that although we complain about VAR, the women's game needs VAR because we could have won that game last night with different results. You know what I mean? So, moving on from that, we're going to continue and talk about some of the players who we still have injured and will not be featuring. Lisandro Martinez is about to have his surgery for the metatarsal injury he's been suffering with. So that's putting him out on the reserve list for the next 6 months. Terrell Malacia had surgery last week. So it's definitely, we are seeing a lot of our players injured. People could blame it on the fact that we played too many games and too many competitions and too many players kept playing repeatedly last season, but we had to have a basis from somewhere. And all the fact that the manager focused on results last season, he decided to play football this season. In hindsight, we could say it's a bad decision made by the manager, but at the same time, we're in this situation and this is our team. We have to back these guys. And I won't say this lightly. Liverpool suffered with similar fates last season. They started off the season for the first 3 months and they were at the bottom of the table. They were as low as 15th. And they started climbing the table as players came back from injury. So maybe we might see something like that for Manchester United. And let's not forget, this is going into the Christmas time, where Manchester United is usually a very, very strong and competitive, consistent team. So let's look forward to the performances coming up. And as I move on from Lisandro Martinez and the other injuries that we have, and you know what I mean, I will talk about a little bit about Sheffield United, who's missed 5 to 6 of their players through injury. One of them broke their ankle, Chris Basham, the 35-year-old. He broke his ankle against Fulham. So, there's a lot of injuries going around the Premier League in general right now. And this team is at the bottom of the table, and they came up and they compact football, but they've been drubbed up by a lot of teams. They even got 8-0 defeat by Arsenal, by Newcastle United, my bad. They lost, losing 3-1 to Arsenal, losing to Man City. It's been a tough start for them. And Manchester United need to pounce on that and take this chance to keep up the rest of the top of the table because, as we know, Chelsea is facing Arsenal on Saturday. So, hopefully Arsenal could drop points. Hopefully we could pick up some points. And we are only 8 points off the top, so that would take us to 3 points off the top or closer. And as the league goes on, everyone, all the top clubs at the table, they have to play each other as well. And some of them are going to drop points because only one team can have 3 points, and some teams. Is it really, Stephanie? I'm not sure what's happening right now. My internet might be a little bit slow this morning. Please, guys, forgive me for that. It's not my intention, and I'm not too sure why I'm lagging. Good morning, Lisa Henson. How are you guys doing today? Ian Pritch, mornings. Let me know if everything gets better, Stephanie, right? Because I hope the stream is not lagging too much. Yeah, so as I was saying, there's a lot to look forward to in the Manchester United team right now. The team, some of the players are coming back fit, and we have other players starting to pick up form. I mean, I'm not a huge Scott McTominay fan, but he did come on and score 2 goals in 8 minutes in his last performance. He deserves to start. We'll hear from Ten Hag tomorrow. In my opinion, he definitely deserves to be in the bench or, possible start 11. If Casemiro is injured, actually, because he came off 70 minutes in the first game that Brazil played against Venezuela in their draw 1-1, then maybe, we could give Casemiro a rest, bring in Scott McTominay, maybe play next to him Hannibal, because we need some energy in midfield. And it would be nice to see some youths play a little bit of rotation because the big game is really Copenhagen. We need to stay in the Champions League. A lot of fans might have lost hope and think we're going to be out. It's better we be out of Europe altogether. But I don't share their sentiments. I'm a Manchester United fan, and I want us to win, lose, or draw, regardless if the result is all that matters sometimes. And we already knew from the beginning of the season, our summer transfer window wasn't perfect. We didn't get to move players on as we liked. We didn't get to bring in some of the players we liked. We missed some key signings. So the manager is making do with what he has. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm judging from last season and which is his first season, then he's going to find a way this season. It might be a different way because, remember, he decided to play football this season. So we're playing football and we're not just trying to get results. So it's going to be up and down, and fans need to, just stick by the team, look at the performances. focus on the players who are performing well, and let's look forward to the players who aren't performing well being rotated out of the team and see some new fresh faces and see what that brings. Because Hannibal may not be a favorite of mine, but he's slowly growing into my favorite list because he's been performing steady and consistent performance each game he comes on the pitch, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again. I also looking forward to see Dan Gore Jr. because he came on and he did really well in that cameo, and we haven't seen him since. So this might be a good game for him because when you look at it, he has that ability to keep the ball, move the ball, and he plays with confidence. And he's not afraid to get into a tackle and challenge. So it's like, looking forward to some of the youth, looking forward to some of our senior players stepping up. Marcus Rashford had a brilliant game against Italy. I'm an Italy fan, so it's kind of disappointing for me that we lost to England. But the Lions had a great performance. Harry Kane come up with a penalty and a goal, great finish on both sides. And what can you say about Marcus Rashford's performance? He was all over the field. He was very intentful. He looked lively. He looked ready. He was combative, and he stuck it out and got his goal, and it was a great finish. And I would like to see more of that from Manchester United. I've heavily criticized him. I'm not gonna not hold my hands up and say I don't criticize Marcus Rashford, but at the end of the day, I'm a Manchester fan and I want to see our team win. And he has to play very well if we expect to win as well, because judging from last season, he's currently like the face of our project, the star of our team, our talisman. Bruno Fernandes had a great international break, scoring a couple of goals, getting a lot of assists. I hope that form transfers into a Manchester United team. I hope he stays in the center of the park and not be pushed out on the right wing because it's going to be difficult. His form is never good on the right wing, and I hope the manager realizes Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes cannot play in the same starting 11 because they take up each other's spaces and half spaces and they look for the same positions. So I would like to see a team where we either start Bruno Fernandes and have Marcus Rashford come off the bench with Mason Mount, or we start Marcus Rashford with Mason Mount in the center and give Bruno a rest because the guy has been playing football nonstop every game. The guy needs a rest. He needs to be saved from himself. And let me check with the VR room right now as I get in and take a good morning, Scotty at the wheel. Morning, Pete. Hey, Antenna, what's up, my guy? You good? I hope all is well. I hope you're excited about Saturday. I don't know if you're going to travel to the game, but if you are, I hope you have a safe journey and enjoy it. Call into the show and give us some, a little bit of what's going on. And what's Jamie saying? There's a bad bug going around, guys. I've caught it. Stay safe, stay healthy. Jamie, I hope you get well soon, bro. It's not good. Whenever it's getting cold, there's always something going on where some people are coughing. It's just the weather. Some people get, the fluctuation in the change of temperature makes you feel ill, gets your nose running. That stuff is crazy. It's bad. And Almac is saying the takeover is overshadowing football. It's difficult to stay excited knowing the Glazers are staying. I have to agree with you, my friend. I have to agree with you. It's really, really disappointing. But, last season they were here. It was just as disappointing. And the manager gave us a bright light. The team shone. They did well and they showed the fans why we support them. So I'm going to give the guys my support and I'm going to think, some of them haven't performed well, but they will turn it around because they know they got the fans behind them. And regardless of whatever we say, we go to Old Trafford, we go there to see Manchester United football team. We're not going there to see the Glazers. And as much as people say you go to the games, you support the Glazers, this thing is a tradition. This is supporting Manchester United. The Glazers just happen to own the club, right? And we want them out. And I'm pretty sure we will get them out eventually. It's just what it is. Hey, Neil Driscoll, morning, guy. How are you doing today, man? Enjoying the morning so far? I know it's a bit early. Oh, man, Alien, you got to do something about that, bro. Try not to get ripped. But, hopefully when I come to visit, I'm supposed to come for a game in a week or two. So, like, when I come, I'll get some of that good old-fashioned cooking. You know what I mean? So, guys, what are we saying? What are you guys thinking about the game? Before I move on and talk about some other things that might be of interest in the start. Who are you guys looking forward to seeing playing on Saturday? What are your reasons? Which players stood out for you? I know some of us are not really interested in the international football too much, but you know what I mean? It's just is a way players who sometimes aren't starting get to play, find form, and then they translate it back into their club play. So who are you guys looking forward to seeing? I mean, I'm always looking forward to seeing Hoyland. Like this guy scores some kind of goals. He's a joke, right? Like the goal he scored against San Marino, his back basically to goal, and out of nowhere, it's in the roof of the net. He's got some good technique, good ability. You know what I mean? He's got a left foot rocket. It's interesting. Christian Eriksen has also shone. You know what I mean? I look forward to seeing him play. It would be nice to see some rotation, maybe something similar to the game against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup, where we see a lot of youngsters and different faces. You know what I mean? Donny van der Beek, he's not been mentioned, but the last time he played for the team, he played pretty well. And you know what I mean? It's a squad at the end of the day. And if we are looking to fight injuries, we need to rotation. We need to be able to depend on a lot of other players. So I'm looking forward to seeing something new from Ten Hag, right? At the end of the day, we could sit here and complain about the team, complain about the coach, complain about injuries, but at the end of the day, we have to deal with it, right? It's a situation we're in, and we just have to find a workaround and support these guys as they try to lift themselves to be better, going forward. And let's pop back into the chat and see what's going on. And Alien Tenno, Casemiro and Amrabat are out. Looks like McTominay will have to play CDM. And I'm not too sure about Amrabat, but I definitely know Casemiro is not. It has been in training. He played for Brazil yesterday. So it's kind of, let's wait till the manager press conference tomorrow and you'll get a definite update on the availability of Casemiro. Amrabat was feared to be injured. So it was more likely they discovered something with him, but they did not actually play him. So he hasn't played for Morocco. So we are not too sure what's happening with him. So I won't rule him out. But I mean, this is Sheffield United, guys. No disrespect to them, but this is Sheffield United. We should be able to beat them, even if we play McTominay and CDM with Hannibal. You know what I mean? I think it's, yeah, Almac. I was just about to mention that Kobe Manu is back. He's back in full training. He was kept out of a Barnsley closed door match that happened a week and a half ago, I believe, on a Saturday when we had no football, and the team won. Anthony scored. Donny van der Beek had an assist. It was a good game for the team overall. A lot of the guys who are on the fringes had a good start to the game. They played really well, and Kobe Manu was kept out of the game, but he is back from injury. Has been kept training with the first team, and you probably hear about that tomorrow because, like I keep saying, our manager was really, really excited for this young man to face this season, and was really, really disappointed and hurt when he got injured against Real Madrid in the preseason tournament. But then again, like we should not have been playing on AstroTurf. Like America needs to do away with AstroTurf and certain stadiums that they want to play football in because AstroTurf is dangerous for football. If you're running on it, it's different. But when you have to do different things, you could get stuck, and it's a much more dense, hard surface. It's more abrasive than grass, so it's like hard on the joints and stuff. So it's not really good for football. Jamie, Jamie saying if any of our team left. Yeah, there are quite a few of our team left, man. And you know, I know some of the team hasn't been performing but Johnny Evans should be fit. Harry Maguire had a decent game for England. He had a decent game for us the last time out. I won't mind seeing him play because for my thing is it's a Man City game. We need to keep players fit for the Man City game. Get them informed, give them some game time, but we need to keep the best players fit, and we need to look at other players on the squad who might contribute because, we always thinking Marcus Rashford should be benched going in to this international break, and coming out of it, some of us are thinking maybe we should let Marcus Rashford start the game. I am one that's still thinking Garnacho should start against Sheffield because we need him to get into the habit of being able to be depended on as a starter. right, and contributing more to the team. So I think Garnacho should start on Saturday, and Rashford should come off the bench. But who knows what Ten Hag will do? You know what I mean? Like, we need to win in the Champions League, so I am assuming he's going to start Rashford in against Copenhagen. So for me, it's like, let's see some other guys start on Saturday, and we should be able to grind a win out and then move on to Copenhagen game. And Rashford could come back into the starting 11 if that's the case, because the preparation is all for Saturday, the Manchester Derby. No one wants to lose that game, right? Kitchen colors: black, worktops, white cupboards, red walls. I wonder where the colors come from. Probably Manchester United, Alien Tenno. And Stephanie Griffith is saying Ericsson and Donny may feature. And I would like to see that as well, because as I was saying, Donny came on and had two good performances. He also played really well in the game, behind closed doors against Barnsley, as reported. So it would be nice to see Ericsson and Donny feature and see Bruno and Rashford and those guys get some rest. Much needed. You know what I mean? Would you keep Amrabat? Excuse me. Would you keep Amrabat beyond the season? He's kind of injury prone. We should probably get a younger, healthier player. Almac, I don't know how to assess that. He had a really good season for Fiorentina last season. He didn't suffer that many injuries. I think he probably was injured like twice, and it was like minor. Um, Yeah, he did come to Manchester United injured, and he has had an injury scare this international break. So I could agree with you that we need to look at that. But he's alone, so let's see how his performance goes until the end of the season. Because at the end of the day, he's still alone, and he's not actually a Manchester United player yet. Although he could end up being a Manchester United player, and it could just be he having a bad start to the season this year. You know what I mean? So let's not judge too much right now. It's the season is still early, and there's lots of football to be played. I know we're not doing that well. We sit in 10th place, but guys, you know what I mean? There's like 30 more games left in the Premier League. So there's lots of points still up for grab. We could at least still win 90 points, so mathematically that is. And Norman Barnes, what we need now is for Ratcliffe to pull out. I won't disagree with you, mate. As a United fan, I would think that if he was a United fan and he realized the club had an opportunity to get a full reset, he would not stand in the way of that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because right now, I want to focus on football. No offense to your comment. I love it. But let's keep it based on football, because, I think it's becoming a little bit toxic talking about a takeover over and over and over. And there's no actual concrete evidence or definite out there right now. So, football is back, and Manchester United is a football club. We are football fans. You know what I mean? Enough for the financials. Could Lindelof and Maguire be starting? And Alien, that's a great comment, because I think it's definitely going to be a possibility to look at, because we don't really have much fit defenders, and also although Varane is back, I wouldn't start him. I mean, I would keep Varane for Copenhagen or even Man City. I might even, if you want to start him, I'll give him the first half and take him off second half, bring on Maguire or bring on Lindelof. Lindelof has been doing well. He had a great game for the first half, I think, and then the game was cancelled. It was stopped because of the terrorist attacks in Sweden, right? Don't want to talk about those things, man. It's tragic. Hey, Gordon Money, morning, man. Great show always. Thanks. Big up, Mick. Oh, it's Mark, bro. Mick is not here right now, but thanks for showing up to the stream. Yeah, I agree with you, Jamie. They should all bring their international form back to the club and don't take a piss out of fans. You know what I mean? And 17 likes, 20 watching. I know it's one of those slow mornings this morning, but at the end of the day, I'm glad you guys are joining me. And we're just talking about a little bit of what's to come, ahead of the press conference tomorrow. It's like, what are we hoping to see from our team? Who we're hoping back fit, who we're hoping available for the game, who's ready to fight for Ten Hag. You know what I mean? That game, that game was something to watch, man. Like I was deeply moved by that game, deeply upset in the beginning. I didn't think we should have left it that late, but we had the win, and you know what I mean. You got to celebrate that because we hadn't had a bit of luck in a long time, and it's nice to have a bit of luck sometimes, you know. So I'm looking forward to hearing what the manager has to say about the team news tomorrow, confirming players that who aren't actually injured, confirming who's actually fit and ready. Because as you know, the Manchester United team trains today, currently as we are speaking. So there's going to be a lot of news out soon about fit players and who's ready and who's not going to be able to make it back. But I'm also really excited to see Serge Regulon. And as some of my friends and I call him Regular Don, the guy has been great since he came in, and a lot of fans didn't like him. Some didn't want him, but the guy has shown the fight of a Manchester United player in every game he's played so far for the club. So you gotta back the guy. You know what I mean? And yes, we have Luke Shaw, but Luke Shaw deserves to have the best competition. And sometimes the best competition might not always be the most talented player in the position. It might just be a player who gives his all and is a 7 out of 10 every single time he steps on that pitch. You know what I mean? So Manchester, there's some great things and some highlights of the team to look forward to because there are some players who are performing well, some players who are finding form, even if it's just an international duty, you know. But hopefully, they, as Jamie said, they could translate this to the club, and we see more of that going forward because we need some wins. We need to get some points on the table. We're sitting in 10th place, and it's not acceptable for Manchester United, but no one has ever won the league in October. So, you know what I mean? It's good to lead and be at the top and have all that jazz. But when it comes to February, March, those are the weeks that matter and the months that matter when you're on top of the table. So, guys, let's all try to enjoy our morning and not be too stressed out about the takeover because at the end of the day, it's all mostly speculation and assumption based on the fact that we all know for a fact there are NDAs in activity and football. I mean, it's not too exciting. Some of us fans want to see a better style of play. Some of our fans want to see more football from the players, more bite from some of our attackers, more goals, more clinicals, you know, better finishing and better defending on the whole. So let's look forward to the manager's press conference tomorrow and see what he has to say. At the end of the day, we're all Manchester United fan, and win, lose or draw, we support our team, right? Hoyland is available. Yeah, he got kneed in the back and some elbows and stuff, but he is not injured. He just had I mean, you play a game and you're going all out, and someone knees you in the back, it's gonna hurt. So that was scary for him. So he mentioned it because it's not something that should be done in sports. You know what I mean? Football is a contact sport, but this kind of contact is more for MMA and stuff like that. So me, I'm from Trinidad, bro. You know, in the Caribbean. Who was behind the decision to let Fernandez go at left back? He really did look good, and also Kovar, GK. We could really do with them. Uh, we have a director of football, DJ Superfly guy, so they are the ones making those decisions. And we can see from preseason the youths that Ten Hag was looking at. They played consistent games. They even played more minutes than first teamers. And Alvaro Fernandez was one of those players, and I really liked him. I've liked him since last season. I watched his games at Preston, and he played really well. He was their player of the season, and since then, I know he was like one of those, possible players that could be elite if he develops well. And the idea of a loan is really to help a player get consistent game time. And definitely, I agree with your next comment. They need sacking because no one can tell me Ten Hag would have let that guy go out willingly. You know what I mean? I feel like he probably thought they may have been getting Terrell Malacia back fit, because he was on, pain injections and physiotherapy. And then they realized they had to do surgery, and the club still let Fernandez go. So maybe we might see him recalled in January because, as we know, he hasn't been getting much game time at Granada in the La Liga. So he should be back in January. I hope to see him back. Manchester United need to probably grab one or two more players, maybe on loan or permanently. Definitely a centre back, definitely another midfielder, in my opinion. Like, I would love to see us get a new striker just to give Hoyland that balance, some game time off, a difference up front. Maybe someone like Marcus Leonardo. I'm really championing his cause because he has that ability. He's like when we bought a young Anthony Martial, he's everything that Martial was then, and I think he's a little bit better. So maybe it's time for us to let Anthony Martial play for a contract, score 20 goals, and let him go at the end of the season because when we need him most, we could never depend on him, either through injury or he's just not playing well. And it's no point in having a striker who every time he has competition fluffs the bed and says, I need to know I'm number one, else I don't want to be here. So we need to move on with these type of players, sign a new type of players. And it's gonna take time, guys, because realistically we signed 11 players in 2 windows, and some say we should be playing way better football, but at the same time, it's 2 windows. So when you separate that, some players were already bedded into the team, and then some of the players are still being bed into the team, and they haven't had that much game time. So I hope that we get our players fit, and possibly in a run of games, like 5 to 10 games, where the coach could select his best team without having to do it based on injuries or unavailability. You know what I mean? Damn. When I say unavailability, I get mad at Jaden Sancho, man. Like, the guy's got so much talent, so much ability, and he's just, I don't know, sitting at home doing what? You know what I mean? I understand he probably didn't like what the manager said, but at the same time, it wasn't that deep, guys, in my opinion. I think they could work that out. If not, got to go in January, got to get a replacement. You know what I mean? Some people think Mason Greenwood might be back. I don't know how everyone feels about that, but if we're talking football, with his current form, he has more contributions than Marcus Rashford this season for Getafe. So I don't know what you want to say, guys. At the end of the day, the best players need to play, and we need the hungry players to be their substitutions or to be fill in for them when they're not available. So those who don't want to be here, they should go. You know what I mean? Saeed says, I'm happy with Ten Hag, but what's the point of lining the pockets of these greedy inhuman beings? Um, I guess you're referring to the Glazers and stuff, my guy, but at the same time, I don't know. I can't really argue with the statement. I'm not going to try to. I'm just going to say that at the end of the day, if you support Manchester United, you know what I mean? What could you really do other than protest? You know what I mean? All we could do as fans is protest in unity that we want them out of here. But at the end of the day, does that mean you can't support the team? Some fans can't come to games. Some fans can't visit England, far less, go to a away game in Europe, somewhere in the UCL. So their way of supporting the team might be to buy a jersey, a kit. You know what I mean? Might be to have MUTV so they could watch the game. You know what I mean? So it's hard when you look at fans and you try to impose your opinion on the fact that you could choose not to go to a game, or you could choose not to watch the game, or you could choose not to buy the kit. You know what I mean? Everyone could make their choices, and I think everyone making their choices in the way is best for them, that works for them. you know at the end of the day, we support one club. We could do it in different ways. You know what I mean? It's all about supporting United at the end of the day, not the Glazers. And I'm sure I speak for all United fans and when I say we all want the Glazers out. Yeah, they're crazy. We need players to step up. Yeah, like Stephanie Griffith is saying. And yes, Alien, I also heard that we want 20 million for Greenwood, but I also heard that if he continues his form, they might double that. Also, and that's based on the he doesn't have a buy a he doesn't have a loan to buy option in his contract with Getafe, so it's just a loan. So at the end of the day, if he does exceedingly well, that figure is going to increase. You can guarantee that. Yeah, Jaden Sancho is having a tough time. I don't know what's happening with him. You know what I mean? What I do think is that the people around him aren't doing him the best service. You know, it's not always saying, yeah, it's okay. Sometimes you have to let someone know, they have to take the high road or the low road. Sometimes you have to be like, okay, you don't like something, but you can't always do everything based on the fact that you like that. You know what I mean? You have a job, you signed a contract, and sure, you might not get along with all your workers or your manager. You know what I mean? You still have to do your job, and you have to make it work. Two people could be right at the same time, but they both could also be wrong. And I think that the situation has been blown out of proportion. It shouldn't have been happening in the first place. And I think the media helped it the most. They made it so sensational. It was like they made it to me, in a situation where it had to be either one way or the other and not a middle ground, you know? We need to stop every game, and it might be a sacrifice, but we need to do it or stay in this bubble of dross football players and never get above third again. It's no longer a club. I agree with you. I think fans need to protest in numbers. You know what I mean? Nothing like what we saw with Ajax, guys. Keep it non-violent. We could do this peacefully. There's no need to destroy anything. You know what I mean? We just need to be unified as an entire fan base for once, because there's nothing worse than the Glazers at Manchester United. Nothing. No matter if you favor this player or that player, no matter if you favor the coach or you don't like the coach, the worst thing of all, it's the Glazers, and we all need them out. And I'm not going to keep you guys here much longer. I'm thank you for joining me, and it was a pleasure to give my point of view to you guys and try to answer your questions in the best of my ability from the information that I have. At the end of the day, football is back. I'm excited for Saturday. I hope Manchester United wins, and I hope everyone enjoys their day today, although the weather is bad. So, peace, love United, love, and say Onana sometimes, you know what I mean? He's not having a good season so far, but I think he'll do well. And, sometimes it's just like that. It happens. You can't always start off on hitting the ground running. Some players don't. Anthony's having a hard time, and I hope everyone gives him a little bit of a break, because it's tough to come at United and just start scoring goals. Anyone would know that. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bella, take it away.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. If you want to take it to the next level, you can always show your appreciation to sponsor our channel by clicking below the video title, where you will see the heart icon with the text saying, thanks. Or you could buy me a cheeky little coffee by scanning this barcode, or visit this link to buy me a virtual coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Remember, glory, glory, Man United, Glazers out. It is green and gold until we are announced and sold. That was all from me. I wish you a good day and a great match experience, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.